What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Training with Bill. For this challenge, I'll be doing a 2-week stretching challenge. The whole purpose of it is to simply try and get more mobility and flexibility in both my legs and my hips. Now, my hamstrings in particular are very, very tight. While I'm walking, I can feel how tense they are. If I try and touch my toes, they instantly start burning. Now, when it comes to my hips, I had an injury at work a few years ago that's been causing me grief ever since, and I want to try and do some stretches to try and relieve that pain. Very, very important now, especially that I'm about to start training again, that I make sure that my legs and my hips are very, very mobile and as flexible as possible. I want to prevent myself from being injured. I want to get rid of this tightness and soreness, and at the same time, it relieves back pain. So this is a very, very important thing for me to do before I get started into training. First things first, let's go head off and I'll go test out, see how flexible I am at the moment. All I'll be doing is a series of stretching exercises that'll focus on my hips and also my hamstrings over the next 2 weeks. That's it. So now let's go test the flexibility and then we'll run through the exercises that I'll be doing. Alright guys, so for the first test, just simply trying to touch my toes. I just want to see how far down I can get before it starts to burn. So I can get the tips of my toes and then I start to feel it burn straight away. So it's not a little burn, it's a deep burn. So that's really stretching it out at that point. So side on the side right here, and it's really burning straight away. Guys, you can also test your flexibility at home. Just do exactly what I'm about to do. So I'll be testing the hamstring flexibility right now. Okay, simply lay down flat on the floor. Hands by your side, feet nice and flat. Okay, all you want to do is lift one leg at a time, nice and slow, until you start to feel the resistance come from your hamstring. So lifting it up nice and slow, right at that point there, that's where my hamstring starts to engage. It's really tight at that point, my leg's starting to shake, and as you can see, my knee wants to bend on its own. So once again, we'll test it one more time. So right there is where I'm feeling the most tension. Okay guys, that looks like it's about 45 degrees, which is shocking because anything below 90 degrees is considered poor. Okay, it's below average. 90 degrees is what you want to at least aim for. Anything above 90 degrees is excellent. So we'll test on the left hand side, see if my left hamstring is any different to my right. Once again, lay nice and flat, lift the leg up, and right there. Now with my left side is actually funny because this is where the injury on my hip has occurred. So right here, and I not only feel pain or the tension in my hamstring, but also my hip is where the pain is coming from. So I'll be doing a series of hamstring exercises as well as hip flexor exercises. I want to try and loosen everything up, see if I can get the mobility back in there, see if I can get the flexibility also back in there. So I'm going to start that whole series right now of exercises that I'll be doing 2 to 3 times a day for the next 2 weeks. Let's do this. that's my 2-week stretching challenge completed, guys. Straight away, the first thing I want to note is do not underestimate the benefits of stretching. Something so simple allows so much mobility and flexibility. I really didn't realize how much mobility I could gain out of simply stretching. My hamstrings were really tight, really bothering me, and I didn't realize that I was missing out on so much. Now while I'm walking, I can feel the spring in my step. I'm walking a lot quicker. I've got a lot more mobility in my legs. A simple task, touching the ground or touching your toes, is now so much easier. I don't feel any tension until I'm about to get my hands flat on the ground, which is a huge improvement from how I was 2 weeks ago. So I'm really impressed with the results. I suggest to everybody out there to throw in some stretches here and there, something that I'll be looking at doing every day now. I've still got to test out the initial test that I did in terms of my hamstring to see how much flexibility I've got now, or range of motion. Also, my hip feels so much better. I think because I do a lot of driving during the day, I think my hip flexors have been taking a big hit on that, so I've been shortening my hip flexors. So those exercises that I've been doing, simply stretching out that hip flexor, has really improved the mobility in my hips and relieved some of the back tension as well. So a lot of the back pain that I was experiencing has relieved a lot of that. So let's test out the exercise that I did the first time around, and we'll see how much mobility I've gained. Alright guys, so we're going to do the same exercise that I did the first time around, just simply to test the range of motion that I have before my hamstrings start to kick in and start to burn. So same as last time, flat on my back, lift my leg up nice and straight and wait for it to start to burn, and also see if the knee will start to bend on its own. So lifting it up, right there is my limit. That is where my hamstring is now starting to burn. So looking at the camera, that's a bit better than it was the first time around 2 weeks ago. So I'll try it again. Once again, right there. That is the point. Okay, now apparently 90 degrees is what is considered good. This looks like I'm sitting at around probably 70, if that. I don't think it's even that, maybe even 60 to 70. So I've still got a long way to go. I'll try the other side, see if my left side's improved. Okay, this one here, judging from last time, I'd say this one here is slightly improved. However, the pain in my hip is no longer there. My leg isn't shaking as much as it was the first time around. First time around, I remember it was shaking a lot more, and my hip started to give me grief straight away as soon as I lifted my leg. So once again, that's the point there that my hamstring is now starting to feel really tight. I think my left leg is a bit worse off than it was compared to my right leg, so I've got a lot more work to do. Definitely going to throw these in, but I mean, generally speaking, in terms of touching your toes, I feel I've got a lot more flexibility now than I did the first time around. It's a lot more better than it was. I can move a lot more free, a lot more mobile. I've got a lot more speed in my step, which sometimes I confuse for energy. Sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I feel I'm walking a lot faster than I usually do, and that's not energy, that's mobility. So definitely stretching is something we have to do in our daily, everyday routines, especially most of us sit down in terms of work or schooling, whatever it is that we're doing. So stretch, stretch, stretch. Guys, hope you like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Bill. Thanks for watching Training with Bill.